Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. Today we have the camera on again, as you can see. I also changed the location, the environment, different location right now in Mexico. And because I was always so much on the move, or sometimes the Wi-Fi was a little bit bad, then I didn't want to put on the camera because that just affects the quality. Today we of course are going to look at Btc and ETH again, and today we are going to do more trading setups because I noticed in the last few videos it's all a little bit macro and we're going over like the broader picture, but I can understand if you really want to put in some trades, then you maybe want to see some more technicals and some more tools of what I'm using. Before we go into look in the charts, please do me a favor, of course, like, subscribe, click on the bell and click on all so you don't miss anything. Share the video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also, I would like to ask you if you want to see anything, maybe alts, you want to hear me talk about the macroeconomy, the Fed, interest rates, anything that has to do with finance, numbers, money, trading, then just please let me know. Drop it in the comments. Like I said, if you want me to look at some of the alts, then that's absolutely fine. Right now the Wi-Fi is better since we moved locations, so that is great. So I might try to do some streams later on this week. If that is something that you're interested in, then also please let me know. Okay, I think that was it. I'm first gonna take a sip of my coffee that I just brewed earlier. I'm the kind of person who really needs to have 1 or 2 coffees in the morning before I'm really getting started. Somehow I'm not the type who can set the alarm at 6 and let's go. I always kind of need slowly to wake up and to start my day. Alright, cool. First things first, so we're going to look at the charts. And here we are of course looking at BTC USD, and we are grinding here on the top resistance, right, that we talked about yesterday. If we zoom out a little bit, then we saw there was a lot of times support and resistance. I hope these white lines are still in there from yesterday. No, actually not relevant for today. So what we're looking at right now is the 1 hourly chart, and you can see we have some ugly wicks up and down here. This was the Fed from yesterday, and now it's a little bit quiet. So then of course always your question is, where do we go from here, right? So what are our main support and resistances, and where are we looking at to enter trades? Well, first we have this resistance line that we already draw for a long time ago, but that is right now above this major resistance line. So as you can see, so far this is holding. And again, I looked everywhere on YouTube and on the internet, who is talking about this triangle where we have the bottom here and the top like this. I cannot find anyone. It's crazy. Everyone is still talking about this being the top. Maybe I'm wrong, we'll see, but so far, my lordy, my resistance line is doing exactly what it should be, is forming resistance. So yeah, okay, crazy. Anyways, back to the hourly. So if we're looking at this kind of picture, then we could say, you know what, we start with drawing a fib to see what kind of support and resistance we could have on this level, and then we're doing always from the top to the bottom with the wicks, not the bodies. And you can see that BTC had came down right now at 23.6, and earlier with the wiggies we went down to the 28.2, but this was actually a little bit of an ugly space here, because this was really with the Fed meeting. Like the 1 minute candles here were extreme, like up down up down up down, and that was really a bit of a no trading zone. So when we left this no trading zone, that's where I entered the trade and then went long. Let me see, what else do we have? MACD on the hourly is of course bearish. The RSI is kind of flat. The yellow line, that's a new tool here in TradingView, that is the average RSI. I'm not really using it, but just so that you know what this is. If we zoom in on let's say the 30 minutes, because sometimes the small time frames bleed into the bigger time frames. So if we see in the smaller time frames lower lows, that means at a certain point the hourly is also flipping over, and then we're going south. What do we see here? We're doing it all on the spot, people. Oh, actually, this is maybe interesting to look at. We have, you know what, let's do this on the hourly. Actually, it's maybe a little bit better because then stuff is a little bit bigger. Oh, sorry. I would say this is a resistance line right now. We are testing and playing with it. You see that we have touch points on the bodies and the candles. This actually could be an interesting play. Ooh, are we breaking down now or not? Ooh, interesting. And then you could say, actually we have two. Nah, yeah. This is one, but it's not so pretty. This one is maybe better. And then you would say, well, we have kind of a trend up with some support and resistance, of course, coming in multiple times, testing it, a wick down and a wick up as a fake out. So far, actually, that's holding pretty good. So yeah, let's see. This could actually be a pretty good trading setup. To say, you know what, if we're breaking down, we are going to test the 38.2, but most likely like the 40k level. And interesting then to hold if it's interesting to see if it's hold this white level or not, or we're going higher again. Like I said yesterday, overall on a big time frame, daily, weekly, I am getting slowly more and more bullish. I think we're making this big fat base before we're going higher. Sorry. So that is interesting to see. If not, of course, then we need to start flipping out of this level and then see if we can breach that 42k level, which then also would coincide with this resistance level. If you want to have a free tip right here on the channel, what helps me a lot is when I'm start making trades, is let's say I'm doing this and say, oh, here, this is very good support. Draw the line further, and sometimes you see that you have crazy confluence, like days further, that is still then a resistance line. Look at this. Isn't that weird that you just see this as a support line, which then later again here is support, and here once, and here's the resistance. Isn't that crazy? Sometimes with crypto, really, it blows my mind. I'm doing this now for a few years, but still something looking like my lordy. Yeah, so this could be a pretty good like trading setup here on the hourly. Of course, if you're really day trading, you're also looking at smaller time frames. Let's leave that for now, and let's head over to ETH. Let's do the same there. Of course, we already broke out. Not on a super lot of volume. I mean, we are rising, but so far not really a lot. You could say here actually on the 4 hourly, it's a bit of a textbook breakout. We have a breakout, we have a retest, and we're going higher. I said to you a few times, there's a bit for me of a no trading zone. Man, I wish you didn't say that, because so far this could have been a pretty good trade. Sometimes you have that stuff just turns into a very good trade. Without actually really looking at it at the first setup, and then you miss it. So that's 10%. I mean, if we look at the lines that we draw earlier, look at this. We're bouncing off because it's taking long. A retest, so we're bouncing back off. Then through. Then we're going out. A retest, and now going higher. My lordy, I wish you'd taken that trade. Okay, well, you cannot have them all, people. On the 4 hourly so far, it looks good. I mean, the MACD here is weakening a little bit. No crossing yet, no oversold levels, but we're slowly getting there. Let's see if we zoom in on the hourly. We are going to do the same with the fibs. So from the swing high to the swing low, you could take this one, I think. There we see we did not really have that retest so far. And what if we take it a little bit further? Yeah, also not pretty. I mean, you could say here on the 0.5 you had some support and resistance, but I think I would maybe take this one right here. Let's draw the channels right here, because I saw earlier this actually looks like a tremendous support that now already came in for a few days, so that looks good. But this one, now wait, let's take this point. If you've been around for longer than a day, then you know what this looks like. Exactly, and that is a rising wedge. And rising wedges always tend to be breakout to the downside. So my eyes would be on this support line right here. If we are going to break through, I will most likely put in a short and write this out and then see how far we can go. Of course, to see how far we can go, I'm taking in the fib levels and then I'm looking out for these levels. And of course, first, are we going to break out of this? And then the 38.2. Actually, in the broader picture, like if we're looking at days and weeks, I would actually don't mind if we go down here to the right line and then go up. That has no confluence then with the fib levels, but for the broader picture, it is better. If we are then breaking back down to say, hey, we're testing 61.8 and then we're going higher, okay, nice textbook of retracement, but we are kind of done back into that bigger triangle that we already draw for a long time ago, and that is maybe not so strong. So for the broader picture, better if we stay out. For the smaller picture, it may be nice if we do textbook retracement. So that is, I think, our two simple trading setups. Right now I would definitely not enter a long here on ETH, also because we already know, what is it, I think 3 days of pumping. Look at that, 3 days, number 4 in the making. And I said yesterday, the more green candles we're printing, the higher likeliness, of course, that we once have a red candle. You see the same here. I mean, we can still have this major move up, but then there is one day that you have a red candle. So if you then say like, you know what, it's looking good, let's enter a long, and you have a very tight stop loss, then right away that day you're getting stop loss. So maybe wait a little bit for the retracement, especially if you just had a pump up for 10% before you are entering a long. That is what I would do. And then for BTC, right now I think, I think I would keep an eye on this resistance level right here that we are kind of now bounce off a few times. If we are managed to pump up and go through, I would say green light, and I might even go live to see how big the pump is, because that was our upper resistance line. Then of course the question is, will we get resistance here or not? And if we're breaking down, then I'm taking these fib levels to see how far we're breaking down, and also this white line, of course, I'm taking. So if we also break this white support line, then I also most likely enter a short, and I'll take profit here around 42, 0.5 and this white line right here. So all partial profits on the way down, also depending a little bit on how fast the move goes. If we have a very slow grind down, then I will take profits. If it's just suddenly every hour boom 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 boom, then you know this is bleeding a lot. So that is what I'm looking at today. I hope you kind of like these videos. Again, if you want to see something else, if you're missing something, you want to show you other indicators, you want to see other stuff, whatever, just let me know. And again, I would highly appreciate it if you would like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. And I think that was it for today. I'm going to take another sip of my coffee. Wish you all guys having a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.